I'm the Amazing Spider-Man of the 4 in the game, and so I have the lion's share of all of the dialogue.
Let's get a good look at that gorgeous mug. Don't be so bashful.
No! Which is fun, because he's the more sarcastic of them.
I'm Dan Gilvezan, performing the role of Spider-Man 2099. I was thrilled to hear that they were going to use some of the older voices, because these are the voices that the fans really know and appreciate.
Alley-oop! I think we recorded 25 different variations for when something happens. So when Spider-Man beats a boss, he can say, and that's that. Or he can say,
who's having a good time? Raise your hand.
So I think the more you play it, the different stuff will happen. You can follow exactly what it is you're supposed to do, or you can kind of diverge from it and kind of explore different areas within a game.
My name is Josh Keaton, and I play Ultimate Spider-Man. I think the thing that I relate to most about Peter Parker is the fact that he leads a double life, because when I was in high school, I was a total dork, but on the other side, I had a whole different group of friends.
Wow, that's not too big or anything. Can somebody say overcompensating?
He's kind of the trash talker of the Marvel heroes.
Look what I can do! I make it look easy.
I think that that's going to be something people look for. People want to have that attitude.
I'm Christopher Daniel Barnes, and I'm playing Spider-Man Noir. It's a blast. It's a lot of fun. It's creative. And to see that there's really sort of an overwhelmingly positive response to what you've done, that's just a great feeling. For people that like stealth and shadows and more strategic thinking, I think that they're going to really like Noir. One
of the great things about this is it takes 4 separate worlds and puts them together into one game. And what more can you ask for, really?
Naturally, I think the 2099 and the actor behind that voice is probably the finest of all. But, you know, some of the other guys, you're a little sensitive, you know, oh, I think I'm better than you are, you're better than I am. I'm the best, really.
We're dealing with a combat game here.
In our game, you have Amazing Spider-Man with all his web-based attacks. He will use his web to grab stuff and slam his enemies.
His web does great shapes like hammers and cannonballs. He is super strong as a character, so I mean, he got the full package.
Amazing Spider-Man is the one where I was very attached to it in the production. And the combat system with the web was hard, and I was not sure where I was going with this. And at the end, I think it paid off.
So we're doing some animation here. We have some muscle deformation here, which we didn't have before.
And then we have 2099. He's quick in his attacks. He will teleport himself to enemies from one to the next. He will jump on a guy, leaving like a holographic trail next to him, and he will have much more reach than all the other Spider-Man with his claws.
He must make good use of spider sense as well, because he has to slow down time whenever projectiles are coming at him.
We have Ultimate.
The black suit with the tendrils will provide something that has a lot of energy.
He enters rage mode that blasts everything around him, and then he will become super powerful for a given amount of time. Noir is much more your tough guy, almost like a bar fighter or something like that.
So you have to take a stealth approach and web your enemies one by one.
You will be able to web grab a guy from down below and slam him on the walls. We do have first-person sequences where you could grab the guy and punch him in the face, but really close up.
You'll have a chance to beat up the villain up close and personal. This is a rewarding moment, sort of a candy to the player.
It's greatly satisfying to just be able to finally say to Craven, shut up.
We tried to create a different feeling for each character, but at the same time we didn't want the player to get lost in various button combinations. So each character has the same set of moves that looks and feel different. You can unlock a combo for every character, and you can try it in the game right away.
It will be the same kind of button inputs that you have to do from one Spider-Man to the next, but the visual effect is going to be completely different, and it's just awesome.
Greetings, true believers. Stan Lee here, welcoming you to the latest harrowing adventure of our high-powered hero, the Amazing Spider-Man. The fact that I had something to do with his origin, and that today he's one of the world's most recognizable and popular superheroes, well, as you can imagine, it's a great feeling. I've been asked what aspects of my character do I see in Spider-Man, and I would say his courage, his nobility, his sense of always doing the right thing. I would say the greatness in that man in some way reminds me of me. I think the idea of a player being able to be 4 different Spider-Men in one game is just such a clever idea. It's like a player having 4 games in one. He can be 4 different versions of the same great hero. Spider-Man has had so many different villains, supervillains. I think one of my favorites has been Kraven the Hunter, because he's a little bit different than most other villains, and there's even something likable about him, even though he's a villain. I think probably one of the reasons for Spider-Man's enduring popularity is the fact that he's probably the most human of all the superheroes. He has these personal problems, which makes it easy for an audience to relate to him. As Spider-Man is sort of the superhero who could be you. For the latest Spider-Man game news, check out SpiderManDimensions.com.